la 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 la. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav Vitzivanu lehadlik ner Vitzivanu lehadlik ner Vitzivanu lehadlik ner Shel Shabbat La 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 la
Welcome, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Our Kabbalat Shabbat service was created by the Kabbalists of Tzfat, who used to go out all dressed in white, their hearts full of devotion and yearning for the Shekhinah. They composed the Kabbalat Shabbat service as a series of psalms, taking us from the busyness of the week to the state of peace of Shabbat. Let us begin our psalm with Shalom Aleichem, page 5.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachi shalom, Malachi yon, Mi melech, Malchi hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni l'shalom, Malachi shalom, Malachi yon, B'melech Malchi hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedechem l'shalom, Malachi hashalom, Malachi elyon, Mi-melech Malachi hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Turn to page 11. L'chune ranina.
L'chune ranina l'Adonai, Naria letzor yishenu, Nekad mavanav betodah, Pizmirod Naria lo.
Take it off. White and tie.
Arbaim shana kot bedor, va'omaram to'e levavhem, vehem lo yadu drachai, asher nishbati v'yapi im yivon El menuchati. La 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 la. Page 13. Shiru ladonai shir chadash. Shiru ladonai kol haaretz. Shiru ladonai barchu shemo. Pasru miyom Yeshuato, Sapru vagoyim kivodo, v'chol ha'amim nifleotav, kegadol Adonai, umulal meod, norahu, al kol Elohim, כי כל אלוהי העמים אלים באדוני שמיים עשה עוד וידע לפניו עוד ותפארת במקדשו אבו לאדוני משפחות העמים אבו לאדוני כבוד ועוז אבו לאדוני כבוד שמו שאו מנחה ובואו לחצרותיו היי ליי 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 לפני אדוני קיווה לשפוט הארץ, ישפוט תבל בצדק, וימים באמונתו. Page 15. Adonai malach tagel haaretz yismechu im rabim.
On the left-hand side, responsively, Adonai reigns, let the earth be glad, and many distant lands rejoice.
Consuming besiegers round about.
Flashes of lightning illumine the land, the earth watches and trembles, mountains melt like wax at the approach of Adonai, at the approach of the master of all the earth.
The heavens tell of God's righteousness, and all the nations see God's glory. And light is sown for the righteous, and joy for the upright. Or zaru ala tzadik ul'ishrei lev simcha, simchu tzadikim b'Adonai, v'yodu l'zecher korsho. Mizmor, page 17. Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash, ki niflaot ha'asa, Oshia lo yamino uzeroa kodsho di Adonai Yeshuato, li'enei hagoyim gilat tzikato, zachar chazdo ve'emunato, levei Yisrael ra'u kol afsei haaretz et Yeshuat Eloheinu Ariu l'Adonai kol haaretz Pitzchu veranenu v'zameru Zamru l'Adonai bechinor v'kol zimrat v'chatzot tzerot v'kol shofar Ariu livnei hamelech Adonai Yiram hayam umlo'o Tevel v'yoshveva narot yimcha'u וכף, יחד הרים ירננו, לפני אדוני קיווה, לשפוט הארץ, ישפוט תבל וצדק, וימים במישרים. די 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 Adonai malach yirgezu amim yoshev kirovim tanut haaretz. Psalm 99, page 19.
משפט הכונן.
Moshe Rabbeinu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'ishtachavu lehar kodsho ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu.
Please rise, we turn to page 21, Mizmor LeDavid, acclaim Adonai, children of the divine, acclaim Adonai with honor and strength.
Mizmor LeDavid, Havul Adonai b'nelim, Havul Adonai kavod va'oz, Havul Adonai kevod shemo, Ishtachavu Adonai b'yad kodesh, Kol Adonai al hamayim et hakavodim, Adonai al mayim, mayim rabim, Kol Adonai b'koach, Kol Adonai b'yadar, Kol Adonai shover arazim, vayishaber Adonai et arzei ha'levanon, vayarkidem kemo egel Levanon, v'sirion kemo ben remim. Kol Adonai chotzev leavot esh, Kol Adonai yachil midbar, yachil Adonai midbar kadesh, Kol Adonai yechol al yalot, vayechesof ye'arot, u'echalo kulo merkavot, Adonai lama bor yashava yeshev, Adonai melech leolam, Adonai oz le'amo yiten, Adonai varech ramo v'shalom. Hai rai 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 rai. Rai, 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 rai.
Please be seated. We turn to Lecha Dodi. We are on page 23. Observe and remember were uttered as one. We heard it thus from the singular one. God's name is one and God is one.
לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד. אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי מקור הברכה מראש מקדם נסוכה. סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. מקדש מלך עיר מלוכה, קום יצאי מתוך הפך הרב לך שבט בעמק הבכה, והוא יחמול עלייך חמלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. התנערי מעפר קומי, לבשי בגדי תפארתך עמי, על יד נבישה בית הלחמי, קרבה אל נפשי גאלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך קומי אורי, 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 שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לא תבושי ולא תקלמי, מה תשתחקי ומה תאמי, בך יחסו עניי עמי, ונבנתה עיר על תהילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת nekabela. Let's go directly to the last stanza at the bottom of page 25. We rise and we greet the bride Shabbat. Boi v'shalom ateret bala, gam b'simcha u'b'tzola, toch emunei am segula. Boi chala, boi chala, lecha dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabel.
How many people do we have online, Charles? Well, we're 8 here, so we're probably good. Let's turn to page 39A for the Baruch Hu. Please remain standing.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Online. We have online.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Vaed.
Please be seated. We turn to a responsive reading on the far left of page 39A. Beloved are you, eternal God, by whose design the evening falls, by whose command dimensions open up and eons pass away, and stars spin in their orbits.
You set the rhythms of day and night. The alteration of light and darkness sings your creating word.
And rising sun and in spreading dust, creator of all, you are made manifest.
Eternal, everlasting God, may we always be aware of your dominion.
Beloved are you, Adonai, for this hour of nightfall.
ומעביר יום ומביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה. אדוני צבאות שמו, אל חי וקיים, תמיד ימלך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני, המעריב הרביב.
That's why you get this camera still.
40. אהבת עולם בית ישראל, עמך אהבת, תורה ומצוות, חוקים ומשפטים, אותנו לימדת, על כן אדוני אלוהינו, בשוכבנו ובקומנו, נשיח בחוקיך, ונשמח בדברי תורתך, ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד. כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נגע יומם ולילה, ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך, בביתך ובלכתך בדרך, ושוכבך ובקומך, וקשתם להיות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. Impress these words of mine upon your heart and upon your soul. Bind them as a sign upon your hand and as a symbol above your eyes. Teach them to your children by speaking of them when you sit in your home, when you walk on your way, when you lie down and when you rise up. Inscribe them upon the doorposts of your home and on your gates. ויאמר אדוני אל משה לאמור דבר. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
Let us turn to an English reading on page 43b. You proclaimed the covenant on the seventh day. You declared it and decreed it. We listened and heard it. You loved this day we inherited, delighting in its remembrance.
and began its command with the word remember, Zachor,
From the time you bestowed it, joy filled the hearts of Yeshurun, the people you redeemed.
securing the cause of righteousness.
You exalted Shabbat as a sign between us forever. In 6 days your world was formed. On the seventh day you rested.
And on this day, Israel, your people rest.
To honor your name, they sing songs of praise to the one deserving of praise.
We're on page 44, the fourth line down. Mi chamocha, who is like you, Adonai, among the mighty? Ay bye bye bim bim bam, yeba bye bye bim bam. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh, norati lo tosefele, norati lo tosefele, malchutecha rahuvanecha, פוקע ים לפני משה, זלי ענו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני, קהל ישראל. השכיבנו אדוני, אלוהינו לשלום, ויעמידנו מלכנו לחיים. השכיבנו אדוני, אלוהינו לשלום, ויעמידנו מלכנו לחיים. פרוס עלינו סוכת. ושמור צאתנו ובואנו לחיים ולשלום מעתה ועד עולם. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, ויעמידנו מלכנו חיים. ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, ברוך אתה אדוני, הפורס סוכת שלום עלינו, ועל כל עמו ישראל, ועל ירושלים. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, כי 6 ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ויום השביעי שבת וינפש. יתקדש ויתקדש שמי רבו, בעלמא דברה קירותי, וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון, ובחיי כל בית ישראל. בעגלה בעגלה, ובזמן קריב יאמרו אמן. יש מרבה מברך, לעולם ולעלמי עלמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה תריחו לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן בעלמא וימרו Amen.
Please rise for our Amidah for Friday nights, beginning page 47, continue to page 52.
Oh, say shalom, shalom bimroma, yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael.
Please remain standing for the Kiddush. We are on page 55.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho b'ahava uv'ratzon hinchilanu zikaron lemaseh b'reshit ki hu yom techila lemikra'e kodesh Zecher letziat Mitzrayim Ki Yevanu v'acharta V'yotanu kidashta Mikohamim V'shabbat kodshecha B'yava v'ratzon Inchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai Mikadesh HaShabbat.
Amen. Please be seated. Shabbat Shalom. This year, our daughter Shalva turned 7 years old. And I remembered that when I myself would turn 7, that was when my family had a big move and we moved from Israel to France, which was a major marker in my life. And I remember landing in this completely different environment. Everything felt different. The furniture was a different color in the house where we were temporarily when we arrived. I remember everything smelled different. It was just completely a new place. There was this feeling of being in a strange house and knowing that something new was beginning in my life. And then there was what came afterwards. We moved into a more permanent house. I started to make friends with other children in the neighborhood, even though I could barely speak to them in any language. Then I got used to it. And I started going to school. First, I did not understand what was happening, but I even got used to that challenge of it. And eventually, less than a year later, I remember being in class and suddenly realizing I'm understanding what's happening. They're speaking French and starting to find my place. And a few months later, I'm putting my hand up in class and answering questions and thriving. And I remember having this sense of victory. I did it. I found myself in a new place. So in our parsha this week, the Torah recounts all the travels of the children of Israel through the 40 years in the wilderness. And it uses this very strange expression to announce the journeys. Step by step, they went here, they went there. But before that, it says, and these are the starting points of the children of Israel, and these are the starting points of the children of Israel. Why does it say the same thing twice? And then afterwards, it says, when these are the arriving points of the children of Israel. So a lot of repetition. The commentators say, well, it could have just said, these were the steps. Why did it have to give us all this superfluous words, which we know the Torah never used superfluous words? So why? So Sforno, who is an Italian commentator, has an idea. And he explains it's trying to tell us something about the nature of those travels for the children of Israel. And so sometimes when they departed, they were very happy to be leaving to a new place because where they'd been was unpleasant. And other times they're very happy to arrive in a new place because the journey was never ending and they hoped that where they would land would be an easier stay, an easier encampment. And this is so much part of the nature of their journey, not knowing what would come next, what it would be like. And the new destination was never known beforehand. And the people were always in the dark about what would happen the next day. But in spite of it, he says, they never refused to follow the cloud and to go on with their journey. At notice. He says the reason the Torah records all these different stops and in this way is to let us know that it's praising the children of Israel's resilience despite the discomfort of their journey. So last week, my children went to a day camp for the first time this summer. And I could see the first day when they came back that they had a lot going on inside of them. They were just full of, and we had to talk about it being different up there in the North Shore, different culture, different way of being, different way of thinking, and even speaking. And that I remember telling Shava, first you get a little bit of discomfort, but then it gets a little bit easier, and then you feel good. You found your place, and you've taken one more step. So as I was thinking about all of this last week, suddenly in my Gmail, an email popped up, an ad from Google, and it said, life begins where your comfort zone ends. Life begins where your comfort zone ends. And I thought, Google is reading my mind. What is going on here? But it was from National Geographic, and it was advertising something about swimming with sharks and some great journeys. But it doesn't always have to be so intense as a great adventure as that. because we all go through those steps. And sometimes we can't wait to go, and sometimes we can't wait to arrive. Most of the time, we just want it to be easier and as comfortable as possible. And we don't always know the destination. But on some level, at the end, what is recorded in the great book is even the discomfort that we experience, because there was all the journey. And then when we do finally arrive, we know we've accomplished a great feat. We know a little bit more about ourselves and the journey that every one of us is on in this world. Shabbat Shalom. Please rise for Kiddush, page 56.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל עמונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שונו את השמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומשב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובהי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אין עוד, אין עוד, אין עוד. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו, אחד ושמו, אחד ושמו, אחד ושמו אחד.
Please be seated. We turn to our mourner's Kaddish on page 58, where we are observing the following yortzites this week. Cecilia Abrams, Max Applebaum, Sam Bell, Mary Ellen Ward Berlin, Tilly Berman, Nathan Bernstein, Lola Blay, Ida D. Bloom, Jack Braverman, Reva Broyd, Alexander Eulenberg, Alice Farber, Fanabel Fixman, Emil Glauber, Mark Neil Gorin, Phyllis Harris, Abraham Jacobson, Goldie Kaplan, Herman Kaplan, Louis Markle, David Porter, Selma Savitt, Alvin Schmeltzer, Israel Schultz, Paul Shanoff, Lucy Shua, Mildred Sidero, Stephen L. Siegel, Beatrice Sokol, Morris Steinberg, Jenny Turek, Hubbard Weinstein, Benjamin Ellie Willen, Helen Willens, Bert T. Winter, Arthur Coven, Madeline Crowley, Helen Francis Lakin. If you're observing a yahrzeit or a mourning, please rise and join me in the words of the Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah. Ve'alma divra kirute v'yomlich machute. V'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayedecho Beit Yisrael. V'gala v'zman kari v'imru amen. Shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam amaya. Yiparach v'yishtabach v'yipar v'yitchomam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitale v'yitalal shmei dekudesha brichu. Ela b'kol berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran be'alma v'imu amen. Yehi shlam araba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'akol Yisrael v'imu amen. Oseh shalom v'imoma v'hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'akol Yisrael v'imeru amen. Announcements from Jerry.
Here are the announcements for this Friday, July 14th. Happy Bastille Day to all of us. Join us tomorrow for a sponsored Kiddush celebrating Gary and Barb Belinkey's 50th wedding anniversary. And before I forget, thank you to Elizabeth Berman for ushering tonight. Upcoming, we are initiating an exciting new program called Shul Babies and Bobbies and Zaitis to pair different families and foster relationships between younger and older members of the Har Zion community. This intergenerational program has been designed to address the way real needs of families whose relatives don't live in the area. All right, that's grammatically incorrect. This intergenerational program has been designed to address the very real needs of families whose relatives don't live in the area. And they're doing this while building engagement. Look at our homepage or your emails, or call the office or Bar Biong for further information. On Sunday at 11 a.m., Dr. Aryeh Zamora continues Israeli Democracy Under Stress, his fascinating class exploring the challenges Israel has faced since its foundation in 1948. Please go to our YouTube channel to catch up and learn from this offering and join us. Also this Sunday, July 16th at 4 p.m., the second in our Israeli summer movie program, we'll be watching an Israeli love story based on a true story about dramatic events preceding the birth of Israel. This in-person event offers a good movie, popcorn, and company. On Sunday, July 23rd at 10:30 a.m., Stuart Rosenberg returns to speak about Jews and folk music. He's always an interesting speaker, so join us in person or on Zoom. Hold this date. Our annual golf outing is returning on Sunday, August 13th at Meadowlark Golf Course in Hinsdale. Details to be revealed this coming week. And believe it or not, the high holidays are approaching. And again, this year we are raising money for ORT and Housing Forward by selling jars of kosher honey in a personalized package with a gift card and blessings, sent to arrive in time for Rosh Hashanah. Send honey to family, friends, and colleagues. The deadline to avoid the high shipping costs is August 1st. Elizabeth Berman is heading a food and supplies drive for the Ark this summer. The drive has been expanded to include school supplies through August 3rd. We are collecting food, household items, and personal supplies through the end of August. And finally, and I think this is directed at Vladimir, don't forget to return the Sidurim in the way you found them. Why? Because. Join us now for a simple Kiddush. We are able to compost again, so please be aware of the proper bins for your waste. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. We'll conclude with a tranquil melody for Adon Olam on page 211. Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra V'etnasa V'chefzo Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra V'acharei Kichlot HaKol Livado Yimloch Nora V'hu Haya V'hu Ove V'hu Yiyeh B'tifara V'hu Echad V'yein Sheni Li'am Shelo Li'arbera B'li Reshit B'li Tachlit ולא העוז והמשרה, והוא אלי וחי גואלי, וצורך חבלי בעת צרה, והוא ניסי ומנוס לי, מנת כוסי ביום אקרא, בידו אבקיד רוחי, בעת ישן וירא, ואם רוחי גביעתי, אדוני לי ולא יירא.
Please rise for our concluding bracha. Kadosh Baruch Hu, Holy One, blessed be He. May we find comfort and solace in the journeys of life as we keep waiting to leave and keep waiting to arrive, but knowing that there is life itself right there in all its beauty and power. And let us say, Amen.
Amen.
יברכך אדוני וישמרך.
Adonai bless and protect you.
יאיר אדוני פניו אליך ויחונך.
May Adonai's countenance shine upon you. May Adonai bestow kindness upon you.
יישא אדוני פניו אליך, וישם לך שלום.
May Adonai's countenance be lifted towards you. May Adonai grant you peace. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, everybody.
Let me turn the, sorry, on mute.
Good Shabbos.
Good Shabbos.
Good Shabbos, Shabbat Shalom.
Your birthday tomorrow, huh?
Yes, yes.
You in a hotel?
Yes, we just checked in as services began.
Where are you
We're up
at?
near Madison, Wisconsin to see the
You checked in.
Taliesin,
Taliesin.
Franklin